Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of Format Podcast Live. All right. I'm a little out of sorts right now, mad tired, but that's all right. We're going to do it anyway because tonight is the opening night of the NFL season, of course. And if you're an NFL fan, you just saw an amazing game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs, two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And, well, you know what? Before we get into that, because as you can see by the thumbnail, we're going to do a little bit of instant reaction here. Before we get into that, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. All right, so here we go. As I mentioned in the intro, Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Baltimore Ravens 27-20 in the opener. G thought I was crazy last night when I said I couldn't choose. I couldn't pick it. This game was a pick 'em, but for a while it looked like Kansas City was clearly the better team. Now the Ravens were able to make it close, make it respectable at the end, but I got a lot of issues with the Ravens in this game, but I'm gonna let G go ahead and start it off.
I mean, it was the Super Bowl champs, right? This is the game after the game that really mattered, and there was a lot of deficiencies there. I felt like, but before I jump into it, I just I gotta take my hats off. What an entertaining game that was. Even though my Ravens came out on the losing end of that duel, I still like the fact that they came out. It was Zach Orr's first game as a defensive coordinator against a juggernaut and Andy Reid and his defensive coordinator and his offensive coordinators. Really, really good game, man. I think 20-27 was the end result of this game. I saw a lot of undisciplined plays, a lot of unnecessary penalties. But what it did show me was that we starting the season now at 0-1, right? 0-1, and but we just a couple inches too short, man. And this will probably be one of those games that goes down. I ain't gonna say it go down in history, but it was a really good game that was decided by inches, right? We saw at the end that John Harbaugh went for 2 as again, like there's a lot of people that's calling for John Harbaugh's head after this game. I felt like the play calling on the offensive side was lackluster. We failed to really run the horse, and Derrick Henry. I mean, more of the same, right? We saw that in the Super Bowl where the guy just didn't pound the rock. Like, I'm not really sure what was the point of signing this guy if you're not going to use him, right? If you're not going to use him, and he showed that he's able to pound the rock in the trenches and get those necessary first downs on 3rd and short, 4th and short. I thought Bateman just failed to get open a lot of times in the game. Mark Andrews he pretty much didn't show up. A couple passes that he did catch, the one that he caught that I thought would be like, oh yeah, he got the ball, we going to the first down, and the ball knocked him down. And so I'm wondering if he wasn't really truly healthy right now, and like that, he tripped over his own feet. But Isaiah Likely, man, what a stellar play. He came, he showed up, he did his thing. Inches short at the end, but even coming back on the field after a loss and still finding his way open. We had a play where Zay Flowers was open, but Lamar couldn't get the ball. The offensive line was definitely an issue there. No question. The offensive line was they didn't hold their end of the stick, and just looking at the season and the rest of the teams that we have, we can't get it done in the trenches. I'm just talking offense right now. We can't get it in. We can't get it done between the tackles. We can't protect Lamar. It's going to be a long season for us. And as I flip to the defensive side, I saw Roquan doing his thing, but at the same time, like his jersey was just too clean for me today. I felt like there was a lot of open field tackles that was missed, and or he was standing when he should have been, right there. I gotta give it up to the defensive tackles at the same time because they really held the fort down. I was waiting to see Nate Wiggins play, but we didn't see much of Nate Wiggins. Marlon Humphrey, more the same. I think he's his contract is bigger than his play, and we saw what what's the guy name? Pac-Man. We saw how much of he pretty much got him signed, man. Mark Peters, I think that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. Marcus Peters. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Marcus Peters. We saw how dynamic he can be if he has somebody else on the other side. But today was just lackluster play, undisciplined on a defensive line, and we still came in within inches of tying the game. But it was just a shit show from a coaching perspective, man. A total shit show from offense to defense, a total shit show. Yeah, that's that. But very entertaining game, man. Very entertaining game. I can't blame it on Taylor Swift this time, bro. It was totally, we failed to dominate when we needed to in those trenches. And Pacheco, man, he a dog.
Oh, Pacheco.
Pacheco's a dog.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's a dog. Failure to pass rush. It's another issue, right? We got 2 sacks on Mahomes, but Mahomes just do Mahomes thing, man. And his dad, he may be in prison right now, smoking on a Lamar Jackson or such, but just very, very disciplined, undisciplined football game. I felt like we waited till the fourth quarter to start playing football. And game one, I get it. You knocking those kinks off, and you're trying to get into your rhythm, and your offensive line. There was a couple delayed games there, a couple unnecessary roughness calls or personal fouls. You just can't do that when you're playing against the defending Super Bowl champs. And much of what you were saying earlier, or the last show we had, where these guys are looking at three-peat and they look good. I mean, they look good. They won a dogfight today. They won a dogfight in this sophomore year for our offensive coordinator. He needed to get his playbook together, bro. That was, man. I know Ravens. Hey, listen, Ravens fan. I know you calling for his head at this point. You have to be. There's no way you're not.
I'm not happy with Todd Monken at all. I'm not. Let me interrupt you for a second. So this is the first thing I want to say. I see Bruce in the chat. What's up, Bruce? You don't get to come in here tonight talking about Rusty after you called the show last night. You was talking big. You was talking greasy. And I'm a Ravens fan, right? But again, I'm big on objectivity. I'm big on just trying to look at what's going on. And you called and you talking about the hunger and this and that and what they was going to do as if they was just playing anybody and not the defending champs tonight, right? I didn't want to see him lose any more than you did, but you were talking real big. You don't get to come in here tonight and say Rusty, so you can hold that, bro. All right. Secondly, when you say Lamar kept us in the game, Lamar absolutely kept us in the game. But this is the same thing that I've been telling G all summer that I wasn't happy with, because those type of plays that Lamar was making to keep the Ravens in the game are the type of plays he should have been making, but for whatever reason did not want to in the AFC Championship when the opportunities presented themselves, right? He had the opportunities to make tonight he ran for 16 times for 122 yards. Now, am I expecting the quarterback to run for 122 yards a game and run 16 times? No. Number one, because sometimes he's not too bright in the way that he's running, right? We saw times where this guy is out here and he's lowering the shoulder, trying to knock linebackers over. Wrong answer. You're a quarterback. We saw times when he's diving instead of sliding. Wrong answer. You're a quarterback. you get hurt, this team goes into the toilet. I mean, they're still a very talented team, but we know that Lamar Jackson is what a top 3, top 4 quarterback in the league. The Ravens need this guy.
Top two.
Okay, however you want to look at that.
I'm not really sure who else we could put. Who else would put on the show that he did? You know what I'm saying, to keep the game close. This is something that you said. He pretty much kept the game close when it wasn't close. We saw some audibles. We saw them. You know, I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna use the word rusty, but we seen them out of sync. Right? We seen some penalties. You know, some just undisciplined. It was just an undisciplined game. We should have. My outcome, right? Let me talk about my stuff, right? Because I said we're gonna blow them by 40, right?
You definitely
however,
I was gonna let you live though. I was gonna give you grace.
However, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw that there's a difference when it comes to these sophomore and these rookie coaches, right? Like the game plan. What does that mean? We had nothing for them on offense, almost nothing. I mean, we saw Roquan, you know, with pass rush, which was there's some really good points, right? There was pass rush there. Roquan actually, you know, we got the Mahomes twice. I think that's more than we did in the Super Bowl. But it just wasn't enough, man. Chris, man, I forget his last name. He dominated the trenches. Dominated, man. And that first half, I mean, it was just we failed to move the pocket, you know, and this guy just ran rapid, man. And we didn't control the trenches. We got a first ballot Hall of Fame in Derrick Henry, and we did nothing with it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The second quarter, I don't even think he had like 3 snaps. You know, we seen him for a touchdown, and it's like we put him on the shelf. So this Todd Monken and this Todd Monken bullshit has to stop, man. Like,
it's getting. John Harbaugh has to say, hey, listen, we are a power running team. This is what we do. You can build anything else off of that, but that has to be number one. I totally agree with you. Derrick Henry had 13 carries tonight for 46 yards. Derrick Henry, we all know, watching this guy, he's the type of back that got to get lathered up. He needs his carries early in the game so that come fourth quarter, he can break the will of the opposition when they just don't want to tackle him anymore, right? How many games have we seen when he was in Tennessee where he had 20, 25 carries for 50 yards, 60 yards, and then boom, he starts breaking them. Why? Because he broke the will. Now, I'm not saying that he's necessarily going to get that many carries every game here, but he needs to get 20 carries a game. I can't understand for the life of me why you're not understanding that if you're Todd Monken. I don't get it. Secondly, I'm looking at this game and I'm like, you can tell that they are making a concerted effort to make Zay Flowers the major playmaker in this offense by attempting to get him the ball in space. But I don't like a lot of what they did in terms of play design. Like a lot of those passes were short passes out to the flat, but they were to the short side of the field instead of like to the boundary instead of the wide side. And I don't get that. If you want to give a guy who has great speed and playmaking ability, elusiveness, the opportunity to make plays, give it to him in space. Give it to him on the wide side of the field instead of the short side. I don't get it. And then it bothers me that you're starting to see Lamar go downfield, and we know he's not the most accurate downfield passer, but that's only happening late in the game when the game is in the balance, right? So had you built off of the run game, like you and I have talked about ad nauseum, had you built off of that, you would have had more opportunity to be effective going downfield later in the game. I can't understand. I'm just a talking head sitting here, and you got a guy that has coached offense on national championship teams in college. This same guy, he coached a big time, almost record-setting offense. I think he was OC in Tampa Bay when Jameis Winston led the league in touchdown passes. So he knows offense theoretically, but he's not acting like he knows it here, and that is the problem. So we can't. You can't. Todd Monken, whatever he's doing is not working, and John Harbaugh needs to have him in the office tomorrow, or maybe even on the plane going back tonight and saying, "Hey, nah, man, we got to get back to the bread and butter, and that's the run game. You don't bring in Derrick Henry for 13 carries." Go ahead, G.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I hear it. It's almost as if we have an identity crisis.
Yes,
right. We do not know if our wide receivers are capable of getting open. You saw him, Lamar had time. I mean, some plays he had time. He scrambled. He had time, but these guys wasn't getting open. And so Zay Flowers from a wide receiving core, he had to take on a lot of the, those quick hits, those screens because he was open and he has the ability to run. I'm worried about Bateman and how long they're going to allow him to, just have lackluster play in these games, man. Like he's not a possession receiver at all. And like as your receiver number one, I think we need that from him, right? Like we need him to have those, that ability to get out quick, 5 hits down and out, quick slants. We didn't see any of that, and that could just be to us tipping our hat to the Chiefs, and they played a hell of a defensive game, taking away a lot of the great things we do. I just Mark Andrews, I don't believe he's here. I don't believe
not yet. He's getting back, but that's okay.
He's a little tender, but yeah, man, I'm disappointed in the play calling, man. Like,
I think that's the biggest thing.
Playing until fourth quarter, that could be a ring rust thing to the point where preseason we didn't see them. We didn't see what we used to seeing, where you have that those number ones out there during our last game of the preseason, getting reps and getting that sink in. But just a really good show from the Kansas City Chiefs. But it gave us the ability to kind of look at what we're doing wrong and go on to the next game. We was, as Transformer said, "What's going on, Transformer? What's up, Tyler? Bruce, how y'all doing, man? I'm glad y'all was able to join the show. Very entertaining game. But as you see at the end, we just came like an inch short, right? Like an inch short, and it cost us the game. But
literally an inch short.
I don't think he could have been there.
You're right. So let me say this too. In terms of the play calling, you mentioned the wide receivers and whatnot and having difficulty getting open, right? So this is where, again, and this is where the play calling comes in, as you mentioned. As an OC, you're supposed to, if you know that you have wide receivers that have some difficulty getting open and getting the separation, this is where you're supposed to scheme guys open, right? This is where your play design is supposed to assist with that. And some simple stuff. You have an extremely mobile quarterback. Why are you not moving the pocket? Boots and waggles, rollouts, right? Not necessarily designed runs or scrambles, but rollouts. That changes, especially when you got a super mobile quarterback like Lamar. That changes the way the defense is going to react, and that is going to get guys open downfield. And Lamar has the extreme elite athleticism to be able to threaten the defense enough that guys are going to get open, because defenders are now going to get caught looking in the backfield, and they're going to change the way that they are defending their assignments, right? Because they're worried about Lamar, quote unquote, jumping out the window, right? Exactly, Transformer. That's what they do for Mahomes. You're absolutely right. And so why can't, and I'm not saying that I expect Todd Monken to be Andy Reid. I don't. But the point is, you can take some of that stuff and you can utilize that to be more effective, even if you don't have the type of weapons that the Chiefs have. You know what I'm saying, G? Like, Todd Monken, you gotta do better. And I know I'm banging on this dude, but this is twice now. The Ravens could have been Super Bowl champions last year had he called a better game in the AFC title game, right? The Ravens could have been 1-0 tonight had he called a better game. Now, do players have some responsibility? Yes. And John Harbaugh, if we're real here, he has to get on Monken and say, hey, get this thing right. He's the head coach. He's ultimately responsible. He's a special teams guy, right? But all right, pause. But he's a special teams guy, but as the head coach, he's also the CEO. And if he sees stuff is not going right, he's got to bring it to the attention and make the change with his coordinators. He has to. So yeah, absolutely right, Transformer. John has to be held accountable. Go ahead, G.
So my elephant in the room is the offensive line, right? And their inability to either pass, hike the ball, pass block, and run block, right? Like I thought that
he only gave up 1 sack tonight, and Baltimore rushed for 185. Now a lot of that was Lamar.
That's Lamar, man. Like that's Lamar. They failed to. You running the offense, man. You need your offensive line. If it's a pocket pass, and the pocket is always breaking down, right? All your plays are either, you know what I'm saying, like they missed the first hit because, hey, when he hiked the ball, he running for his life. And so we didn't make those adjustments until like late third, fourth quarter. At this point, we was already down 10 points against a Super Bowl winning champ, like 2-time Super Bowl winning champs, right? Defending champs. And it's just like you can't come in, you cannot show up day one looking the way we look, man. And it was just a disgrace to watch. The undisciplined plays that was done, the unnecessary last minute tackles when we knew we had like a flag. Like it was just too much, man. Like I'm like, wow, okay, all right. So what was you guys doing besides kissing babies and waving at the fans during, training camp? Like, what did you work on? Like this offensive line, I think we really, really need to hone in on them because Mahomes, I mean, he got sacked twice, but he was able to get it done. He was able to get it done, even with some of his pockets breaking down. And so I don't really beat on my quarterback like that, man.
I was about to bring that up.
I really
gotta
don't.
Be real. Lamar missed some big throws tonight. He did.
He missed
especially that second to last throw. He had Flowers wide open in the back of the end zone. He just missed them. I'm like, whoa, what is this?
He missed likely too, right? Like, and so, but if you look at those plays, all those plays, he's running for his life. If you look at the passes that's missed, he doesn't have a clean pocket. He's running for his life, and he's making throws on the run, which he can do. But at some point, bro, like, yeah, it'll take like week 8 for them to get in sync, I believe, just like, any other year, any other team. But to Kansas City Chiefs, I tip my hat to those guys. They came, they showed up day one, and they execute. They look bad too. Now it wasn't like because it would have been a lot worse if they came with their A game. But their running back execute. The play calls was there. They did a really good job of taking away those hot routes from us, those quick hits. They did an amazing job of that. They did a really good job of taking the things that we do really strong. In my eyes, they shut Derrick Henry down.
They didn't shut Derrick Henry down. No,
they shut Derrick
Henry just didn't get the touches that he needed. They did not.
Exactly. And so when you do that, you take Derrick Henry out the game. When you put him in
that's not them though. That's not Spags doing that.
Is it not?
No, it's not. He only got 13 carries. Derrick Henry, he's a guy that needs his carries because if he gets them, he's going to get busy. We know this.
Yes.
We've watched it for how many years now? We know how he works.
But it's more the same. We saw Todd. We saw when we down, he goes away from the run. Correct me if I'm wrong. When we down, he goes away from the run and he starts.
But even when the game was still tight, right? Before the lead, the Kansas City lead spread, even before that happened, he wasn't running the ball the way he should have. The only thing that was
he didn't play the second quarter.
Exactly.
He did not play the second quarter. I'm not really sure what game plan that was.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's the same BS that we ran into last year in the Super Bowl where he just like totally negated that we have a running back and put everything on. And I don't know if it was the RPO and just we didn't see a lot of RPO in that second half.
Well, so I'll just say to your point, it is the first game, and I think there's a lot of time. And he's got film to watch, so we'll see what happens now. That's all. I'm very disappointed in Todd Monken, and I'm also disappointed that we saw Lamar put his cape on tonight, but where was that cape in the AFC Championship game? I don't like that at all.
Well, Lamar was definitely hurt. He was ginger. He was coming up ginger last game, man. Like, you can. I mean, if you look at him tonight and how he ran, and then you got to think about it, bro. Like this dude put his body on the line the entire season last year. And that's it's Lamar. We used to this style, right? But we starting to see Lamar start to slow down, I believe, man. Like, and he's just going down whereas though he's running into contact versus running away from contact, and
which is. But I think tonight he looked as good as I've seen him in a while. I honestly, I think he looked as good as we've seen him in a while. He was moving, he was making the plays. Again, he was making the plays he should have made last game, but you can't turn the clock back. It is what it is.
Yeah, nah, man. Because if you look at it though, he had an entire season, an entire off season to get prepared for this game. and you can tell he was locked in. However, was everyone else locked in? That offensive line, man, oh God, they trash. It's trash.
I'm not going that far. Like I said, they only
I'm
gave
gonna
up
go that far, bro. Like
they
a
only
lot
gave
of
up one sack. I would like to see the numbers on how many hurries they gave up. I'm not how many pressures, excuse me, they gave up. Not sure on that.
games, not hiking the ball. We seen like Lamar screaming at Limbaugh.
So here's the thing, right? Okay, so I know you love Lamar and you want to protect him. How much of it is the offensive line and how much is the difficulty of when you have an elite mobile quarterback like that, right? If you listen to analysts, they always talk about the fact that having a super mobile quarterback is very difficult on the offensive line because you never know where he's going to be, right? With a pocket passer, you know exactly where they're supposed to be, and that makes it a lot easier for you to block for them. Having a super mobile guy, not so much. Now, is that me taking a shot at Lamar? No, but we can't put it all on the O-line. Some of that has to be him. And I notice what you do is you try to deflect everything away from him, and that just can't be the case, as great as he is.
Oh, I mean, if you put another quarterback in the same position, let's say, for instance, you put what's the guy from Buffalo, Josh Allen, in his position. He's not going to be able to operate with that offensive line that Lamar's operating in. That sack fumble changed the game. That sack fumble where and you've seen that his offensive line completely, his pocket broke down. He had no way to go.
I'll give you that.
Chris, this is his name, Chris Johnson. Is it Chris Johnson?
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones dominated.
He's a beast.
He dominated.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Nothing for him. Nothing for him.
Without Aaron Donald, he's now the best defensive tackle in the game.
Nothing for him. And so when we talk about like how do you block this person, like they didn't get it together till the second half, and this man was gassed. Right, we did a really good job of making the defense tired, but we failed when it came to execution. I think execution and play calling, we failed, and they just don't know what to do with Derrick Henry, man. Like you run him first and second, that's Derrick Henry. Third quarter, you pass with Lamar or you run with Lamar. Right, Derrick Henry is going to at least give you 3 to 4 freaking yards a carry, man. At least 3, if not a first down. We didn't see him first, first down, he running for 10 yards. We didn't see that. He didn't get a chance to get up, Paul. But at the same time, like you
But again, I'm telling you, he needs those carries. He got to get lathered up and he got to get going. And then again, once he starts getting all that, then it makes it so much easier to utilize the play action. Remember, I don't know if it was the first or the second drive. It was in that first quarter, though, when Derrick Henry was kind of doing his thing. And then you saw Lamar pull it and take off on the read option, right? Everything gets opened up when Derrick Henry is getting his carries and moving the football effectively on the ground. Like, I just don't understand how a lifelong OC like Todd Monken is having so much trouble understanding this. And it's not even just about Derrick Henry. It's about the running game, period. So I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But I mean, hey, I'm sure he knows more football and he's forgotten more football than I'll never know. So I don't know.
Another key thing was when we missed that field goal. That was a momentum change. I thought we failed.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like we had the momentum going throughout the game. I felt like Kansas City had the momentum the entire game, with the exception of that hell of a play by Roquan with the interception. But that was because we got some pass rush on Mahomes, but not enough. Not what we used to when you talk about Ravens defense. I don't think they really had the numbers. Like we didn't really shut the run down. And, just like we was running, trying to arm tackle or knock the ball out of people's hands instead of just making those tackles and getting clean hits. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
And I hear you, man. Mahomes is just that guy, and I think Lamar is going to be Lamar, but Mahomes is what Lamar should be aiming to be in terms of being super mobile. Like I told you, Mahomes is a mobile quarterback, and also being able to carve somebody up from the pocket. That's who he should be trying to emulate. Now, again, does he have Andy Reid as a play designer? Absolutely not. He doesn't have him as a play designer and a coach. So that's hurting. But he should be watching all kinds of film. Now, you can only be who you are, but you can learn and take stuff from other people. So I think he needs to try and create some sort of amalgam of that in terms of emulating Mahomes, kind of wanting to do some of the things Mahomes does while utilizing his unique skill set. So, and he's gotta do better of hitting those open throws, man, because there are some throws I know he wishes that he could have back. So,
Yeah. I'll say it was a couple things that I saw. I'm not going to just be a negative person here or negative Nancy, as they say. I thought we got a chance to see Lamar make some changes at the line. I thought that was really cool to watch. That's the first time I've seen him actually audibling and or changing plays based off what the defense presented him with. However, I think the options in the audible didn't suffice for what Andy Reid and his team had. They pretty much did an amazing job of tying our strong hand behind our backs and making us play, to our weak side. I thought I would see more out of Bateman tonight. I was kind of disappointed as a.
Well, he had a big catch when he needed it. I will say that.
One ain't gonna do it though, bro.
But if he's not getting the targets, it's not like they're throwing it at him and he's dropping stuff, or he's if the targets aren't there, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So like I said, much of what I said, he did an amazing job of taking away our strengths, right? Only leaving Zay Flowers, and or likely, I think Mark Andrews, he was in almost every play, and he didn't really get any touches or targets because they did a good job of containing him in coverage.
2 targets, 2 catches, Mark Andrews.
Yep, 2 targets, 2 catches. There you go.
Yeah. Rashad Bateman, 5 targets, 2 catches.
Yep. And so just taking that first 5 seconds of the play away from Lamar, what's left? Zay Flowers. He's gonna make himself. He's gonna get open. However, likely he's gonna get open. He made some amazing catches and run yards after the catch. I think he had like 31 yards after the catch, something like that. But yeah, execution on special teams. I think that put us in a place where we was running behind. I felt like Justin should have probably knocked down that field goal. That was a layup, but he blew it. And yeah, he's normally automatic, and I think the game changes when you have that. The game also changes if you have pass, a pass block. That sack fumble really hurt us. They was able to cash in points for that. So that turnovers equals points when you playing against a Super Bowl winning team, a complete team, right? Like I looked at him on play. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Dog. A dog. He ended up being a dog, man. 6'2" runner. And then Wiggins, right? I think that's his name. Wiggins. Wide receiver. I think he scored twice.
No. You talking about the rookie Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
That dude. And I was just about to say, let's take it over to the Kansas City side, because can you imagine your very first touch in the NFL and you take it to the house first? You just outrun everybody, take it to the house. That's crazy. Dog. Xavier Worthy is going to be a problem. Apparently he's already one. you know,
we had nothing for that rookie. But I don't know, man. That quarterback situation, man. I think we should have put Nate Wiggins in a little early, man. I think we should have got him some reps. I don't believe that Marlon Humphreys is the Marlon Humphreys of old, as you would say. He's just not there. He was getting barbecued. He's just getting barbecued on defense. So we saw a lot of times he was out of place and or just swinging at the ball, or that one play where he just allowed the wide receiver to run past him, right? Assuming that he had covers over the top for the safety. It wasn't there, and it was just a walk in the end zone. That should never happen. You check in. You're supposed to check in.
Yeah.
You're supposed to check in. And so coming from a veteran cornerback, you would expect more, especially even the first game, like you would expect more. And it was just an all around Zach.
He thought there was safety help behind him. So
we didn't talk. We beating the hell out of Todd Monken, but in the real Zach Orr didn't show up. I don't know what his game plan was, but his players lack defense. They lack discipline on defense.
So okay. Let's look at it this way. At least from the numbers, right? Kansas City runs 20 times for 72 yards. That's a very solid defensive performance. Mahomes goes for 291 through the air. So, he's going to 281. So he's going to get that. That's Mahomes, right? But you got a turnover off of him, right? So that defense evened out the turnover battle after Lamar gave up the fumble, right? So, did the defense really play that badly? Again,
they gave up 27 points, bro.
It's the Chiefs and it's Mahomes. That's going to happen.
27 points and you the Ravens.
It's the Chiefs and it's Mahomes. It's going to happen. And it's the modern NFL. It's hard to lock people up in the modern NFL. It just is the way the game is played. But I would say that Zach Orr did a pretty sound job in his first game as a defensive coordinator against the champions, relatively controlling them. Relatively. I mean,
I disagree.
Yeah, well, you're entitled to that. But they weren't really able to run effectively, and Mahomes is Mahomes. And they got to pick off him.
You said one turnover, 3 punts? I don't know about that, man. Like I said, there's just lack of defense, lack of discipline. That's what I attribute that to. You can say, oh yeah, they did a great job on defense and slowing down the Kansas City Chiefs. They gave up 27 points. The field was extremely shortened for them. That's on John Harbaugh. That's a Harbaugh thing. You miss a field goal, you're going forward on 4th and 5, and you don't make it in the middle of the field. So the field is actually shortened now. You're getting it at the 50 or the 40 versus, you punting the ball and then getting it at the 10 or the 20. And so those things matter as well. And then, those undisciplined plays at the end of each play where you have somebody hitting somebody out of bounds and or, just a lot of lackluster play on defense, bro. I understand Lamar, he cleans a lot of that stuff up. And he makes your defense look a lot better because what he can do with his legs. But at the end of the day, if that was any other quarterback, in the league, it would have been a blowout. That's my 2 cents. It would have been a blowout.
Nah, I disagree. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, you guys have got it.
Show me. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ain't really played. I think he went down 5th game last season. So you going over, you pretty much, he couldn't go last year. So you're pretty much making assumptions based off of 2 years. Josh Allen didn't get it done last year for them. And
Josh Allen is tied over the last 5 years for second most playoff
wins. 5 years. I'm talking about last year. Where were they at in the playoffs? They didn't make it to the AFC.
So let me give an unpopular opinion right now. If it's me and I got a choice in a playoff game between Lamar and Josh Allen, I'm taking Josh Allen. Lamar is 2-4 in the playoffs. 2-4.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah, he's not a one-man team. You look at the team Josh Allen had, he had one of the number one receiver, Stephon Diggs. Hands. Name a wide receiver like Stephon Diggs that we've had since Lamar been in at the Ravens. We haven't had one.
I get it.
We haven't had one. So that's going to equal yards after the catch. He's a dog. He'll probably go. He'll definitely probably go into Hall of Fame. Now Stephon Diggs was definitely, and he left.
I don't think he's.
He left. He said why he left Buffalo. It had nothing to do with money. Josh Allen couldn't get it done. That was it. We saw that. He sucked. Teams would run a dime, and he had nothing for him. He couldn't make none of the plays.
So
you run man on Josh Allen, that's it. They done. The Buffalo Bills lost. Go back and look at that.
I will say this. The facts are, opinion aside, fanhood aside, the facts are Josh Allen is a better playoff quarterback than Lamar Jackson. By just about every metric.
One of them got chips.
That is true.
Neither one of them got chips.
Yeah, but you can't. Football, you can't.
You can't say
chips are differentiated. True, in terms of greatness, but in football, you can't boil everything down to. That's like saying, "Oh, Dan Marino was a bum because he don't have chips." Jim Kelly was a bum because he don't have chips. You can't say that.
that's also saying, like, as a quarterback, if you in a pass heavy offense, then of course you're gonna do better if you got hands. But if you're in a run heavy offense and you don't have that personnel to make those plays, then yeah, okay, he's gonna have more yards, he's gonna do all these things, but he's not a 2-time MVP, a unanimous MVP. So how can you say that he's a better quarterback than him? However,
I said
Josh
the playoffs.
Allen is not a 2-time MVP player.
I said
like,
the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's keep it simple, and then we'll wrap this. Let's keep it simple. What have those 2-time MVPs done in the playoffs?
What have they done?
Yes, you're saying he's a 2-time MVP, and nobody can take that from him. But it's a fact that his play in the playoffs is not on the level of a 2-time MVP. That's not my opinion. That's what it is.
If I'm saying, okay, all right, boom, Lamar Jackson, right, 2-time MVP with no fucking running, no wide receivers, none. He's running to get this MVP. He's putting everything on his back, whereas Josh Allen just throwing the ball up. He's making some plays with his legs. Absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely right. He make plays with his legs. But when it comes down to it, the players voted him as like the most overrated quarterback to play in the game right now. Like, so we not, come on, bro. This
players do a lot of odd things though.
They do a lot of okay, all right.
Players say a lot of odd things
right now.
Okay, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not gonna.
The players on the field. They on the field. They playing. They suit up every week, and they playing against each other. And they say, you know what?
But we've also heard players say absurd things, though. You know that, and I know that. We've heard players say absurd.
How can we say that's absurd when that's
no? I'm saying what I'm saying is you're giving players all the credit as saying like, okay, because a player said it, that's gospel. And I'm saying we've heard players say ridiculous things. We have
200 yards on the ground tonight. Plus 200 yards on the ground. Plus 200 yards in the air, 100 yards on the ground, 350 total. We gonna say that, right? Touchdown pass.
395.
He did more than what the average quarterback would do in his position. Yeah, he came up short.
I didn't say he didn't. See, this is it. Like,
no.
Anytime I'm critical of Lamar, you acting like I'm saying he's a bum, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the indisputable facts are he comes up for a 2-time MVP, like you just threw at me. He comes up short when it matters most. That is not my opinion. That is a fact. Now,
so
I believe that he has the ability to get over. Say again.
Did Lamar come up short today?
Yes, but
okay.
I think he played about as well as he could play, but he still came up short. And we talked earlier about it not all being his fault. But what I'm saying is some of it is on him. But most of it is Todd Monken. So I think we can agree there. The play calling was terrible.
As I said before, you put another quarterback in that same situation as a blowout with that person.
And I disagree.
You can disagree. That's fine.
I think if you put Joe Burrow there, it's not a blowout. Because we know Burrow is what, 3-1 all time against Mahomes, while Lamar is 1-5. Right? If you put Josh Allen there, it's not a blowout. Like, that is what it is.
I mean, if you compare the personnel in itself, right? If you look at the wide receivers that Joe Burrow has to throw to, he got dogs. But he got dogs. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
but he's not a 2-time MVP, right, G? He's not a 2-time MVP.
That's not a Lamar. That's not a Joe Burrow thing. That's
but you just finished telling me that being a 2-time MVP lifts him up, right?
What I said was if you put Joe Burrow in the same, if you put Joe Burrow on the Ravens, right, and you put Lamar Jackson on the, it's a different outcome. It's a different outcome.
I don't know.
You look at the wide receiver, Jamar Chase, a monster. He'll destroy any cornerback in the league right now. Day one. That's the only thing I'm saying. Like you tipping your hat to the skill that Lamar has, but you're not looking at the personnel that he has to deal with. And this is a team game, right? If your offensive line isn't solid, then yeah, you're gonna have to run for your life as soon as you snap the ball. But we so used to seeing this guy make magic out of nothing that it's he's you know what I'm saying, it all levels out because
But
it's now
that doesn't mean he's infallible and he can be without criticism. That's my issue.
He isn't infallible. I
saw. But anytime I criticize him, you jump at me to protect him.
No, the only thing I said was he's running for his life.
And I don't think that's the case.
Joe Burrow had to run for his life. It would be a different Joe Burrow. That's the only thing I'm saying. It would be a different Josh Allen. He has no pocket to throw from. It's a makeshift pocket where they have to move it to the left or to the right just so he had time to throw the ball. That's a different outcome, bro. Like that's not like sitting there and you get 7 seconds and you get your team. Like Bateman he only had how many targets? How many times was he open?
5. He had 5 targets.
5 targets. He wasn't even open that much, bro. Like
he had 5 targets.
Yeah, pass rush means a lot, man. And
but you're acting like, back to Joe Burrow real quick. Joe Burrow has not had elite offensive lines at all. Not at all. That's why he's been crippled like twice out of 4 years. He has not had elite offensive lines. They have had to attempt to build the offensive line. That's why they got Zeus up there and they got another cat. But the point, or Zeus Jr., I should say. But they have had to.
Great point transform. Great point transform.
Where we Burrow calling audible, changing the play, moving the line, changing routes, things Lamar doesn't do.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. So Lamar gets the credit for his MVPs with his personnel, but it's his personnel's fault when they lose in the playoffs. Oh, okay.
I like that. I like the fact that you got the ability to throw those up on the big screen. And what I will say is yes, you're absolutely right. He does get credit for the MVPs. You know why? Because he earned it.
He did. Nobody's saying he didn't.
He'll give you a 5 ball when he can give you a 5 ball, but every defense is different. We just played against the Kansas City Chiefs. They wanted to chip, right? They wanted to chip, and we just wasn't ready. That's the point blank. That's the only thing I'm saying. There was a lot of other quarterbacks like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen who wasn't MVPs, and I believe they had a better offensive line and better wide receivers to throw from. But MVP is a individual.
It is.
It's an individual award, and the fact that he was able to do more with less, just amplifies the fact that that's what the league saw. That's what they saw. 127 people looked at the games that he played and said, you know what? Based off of the personnel that he has, he did his thing.
Listen,
we about to see it's not that serious. We about to see who Josh Allen is without Diggs. That's the point I'm saying. We about to see who he really is, man. And that's your pick. That's what you sticking with. Josh Allen over Lamar. That's what you saying.
Hey, don't misquote me. I said in a playoff game. I said in a playoff game, I'd take Josh Allen over Lamar based on what we have seen to this point.
With Diggs and without Diggs.
Period.
Oh,
yeah, like if you put him in Baltimore, yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Definitely.
I love it. I don't think he'll finish the season. That offensive line, he's not finishing the season. No, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. This would be the last one. If Lamar is 2-time MVPs, as great as G is saying, why isn't he making his wide receiver room better? All the greats have made others better. Steve, to an extent, I can't even say that. Really, I'm trying to think. I think the only great who made average to below average receivers better is Tom Brady. Peyton Manning had weapons. No. I guess you got to go back further. John Elway did. He made average to below average receivers better. So did Dan Marino. So did Warren Moon. But coming forward, like G is saying, Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs. Joe Burrow, he's got weapons. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and those boys. What was the other one I was thinking? Yeah, pretty much all the elite quarterbacks in the modern game have really good weapons. So I got to disagree with you on that.
Last year, he went to the AFC Championship with a piecemeal wide receiver core.
But he also had a historically good defense, though. So just that. That helps a whole lot.
Yeah.
That helps a whole lot. All right, but listen.
I like that one. Put that one up there. Put that one up there.
Which one we got?
Tyler. Yeah, put that one up there.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
He won the MVP with Willie Snead and Nick Boyle. Yeah, I did forget about that. Yeah. Okay, that's true. And again, let me be clear. Y'all are trying to present it as if I'm saying Lamar is a bum or he's not great. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the irrefutable.
I think the argument is he's definitely top 2, and you saying that Josh Allen is there, and
No,
I'm like,
he's not.
Where the hell is Josh Allen?
Definitely top 2. If you wanted to put him top 2, cool, but he's not definitely top 2.
He won an MVP last year, bro. He just fell short to the guy that won the Super Bowl. How is he not?
That doesn't make you definitively top 2. It just doesn't. Is he great? Yes. Is he definitively top 2?
You're killing me, Smalls.
I don't think I can go that far. That's cool. That's cool. All right. What are we going to do? Because it's freaking like almost 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? Before we do that, you want to open up the phone line, see if we get any calls real quick?
Yeah, man. Call in, fellas.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to put this in the chat,
I thought this was a really good game for Thursday night. Way to open up the season.
Yeah.
If you're not a Ravens fan or a Chiefs fan, then you guys will play on Sunday, and we get to critique your team as well. And so,
there we go. Got one.
Oh yeah, you gonna have one.
Format Podcast was good, Tyler.
Oh boy, man, y'all throwing the top 2 parade. Who's hanging the top 2 banner?
I'm just saying, man, Lamar's great, but I don't think he's definitively top 2, and I don't know why that's so unreasonable.
Yeah, there's never going to be anything definitive except when it's unanimous, and there's only 2 people that can call themselves unanimous: Thomas Edward Brady and Lamar Jackson.
Okay,
and that's Thomas Edward Brady with Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Wes Welker, Matt Light. And Bill Belichick, and Lamar Jackson with Kenyon Drake.
So
Willie Snead.
You know why?
But no, I would rather talk about the game tonight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's you know, there's 2 things you've never seen in National Football League. As long as I've been watching, a long time. Defensive coordinator coming out of the coach's box. Running
that was crazy, right?
Onto the field at the 2-yard line. They say they grant him the timeout, and they forego the unsportsmanlike conduct, which is an automatic penalty. It's not discretionary. It's the same as you leave the coach's box.
That is kind of weird, right?
Second thing you never seen is the new rules. Right, the new kickoff.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a new look NFL.
It looks weird, doesn't it?
The alignment stuff. With Ronnie, you could read Harbaugh's lips on the sideline. Is the game being called both ways? You know what I mean? This is if we want to talk basketball, it's like a lot of the games you watch with Coach K, right? You ask yourself, is this game going to get called both ways? It's not. Right. We're starting to see that a little bit. I don't want to be the Ravens fan that talks crap, because that doesn't really get you anywhere with chat. But let's look at the touchdowns. We had a busted coverage. Marlowe.
Yep, saw that.
He thought we were playing Tampa 2.
Yeah, he thought there was safety help behind him. Yep.
He was the only player on the field that thought we were in Tampa. He played the flat. We got rang up. That's going to happen in week 1. Pacheco at the 1, forward progress stopped, moved back 2 yards, in fact, and they let the play go on. Kind of once, I guess, the defense did not play to the whistle. They'll be coached on that. That's week 1 stuff. Lamar missing Zay at the penultimate play of the game.
Yep.
He expected Zay to sit. Zay wanted to continue across. And there's chemistry issue. That's week 1 stuff. I loved the Ravens I saw tonight.
I didn't.
Skill wise.
Okay.
You want to talk about execution? Execution was poor. The scheme from Monken. I wish we would argue about how quick we're going to fire Monken.
Yeah, he's bad, man.
Are we going to fire him on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, he's bad. I don't understand it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, his scheme is very good for the college game. I mean, it's a multiple, right? So when you run multiple, you try to get guys in space, and that's a great offense for college.
Right.
But in the NFL, you can't cut the field in half.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You can't move the pocket like that. When Kansas City does it, it looks so effortless.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't understand is Sandy Reed doing that.
That's right.
There's probably two guys in the history of football that make it look that good.
Mm-hmm.
But so Monken's scheme. I don't know why Monken would sign off on picking up Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry doesn't fit the offensive scheme.
So he could, but
think,
Monken doesn't want to. He doesn't want to use him properly. I get what you're saying, but he could.
Henry is not a in-space guy.
No, he's not. He's not an in-space guy. But the easy way to do this, at least in my limited estimation, as I'm not a football coach, the easy way to do this is to get back to, well, first of all, you got to get in either power eye or pistol, right? And it seems like Baltimore under Monken wants to run a lot out of shotgun, a lot of spread concepts, right? And so I don't really like that. But you get in the power eye or pistol, and you have to let him, like I've been saying, you got to let him get the carries. And then that opens up the RPO game. That opens up the read option game. It really seems a lot more simple than it appears that they're making it. I really don't. What up, man? Down Sports. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, it seems, I would think it's a lot more simple than they made it tonight. And it's just going to be a function of you have to be willing to commit to the power run game. To me, it's that simple. You have to be willing to commit to it. And if you can do that, Derrick Henry can fit. Because I saw how frustrated he was looking when he's looking in on that game from the sidelines. He's a guy who is used to being a bell cow back, and it appears he's not going to get the opportunity to do that in this offense. So hopefully they can make the adjustments, because I think it'll bode well for everyone.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple weeks, like Dee said. This is when you add a player like Derrick Henry,
mm-hmm.
you can't just. Not everybody has an offense that fits that,
mm-hmm.
right? And ours doesn't. We had an offense that fits that. Every piece of that offense is in San Diego now, or LA. But the elephant in the room on this game,
mm-hmm.
what it all comes down to is time management. Harbaugh blew those 2 timeouts in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
We complete the pass to the 10 with 45 seconds left, and we get 2 plays off at that point. Had we had 1 timeout, we would have got to see the Ravens lose on the 2 points instead. Which would have been, I would have, I took +3. So I've been cool with that. But look, Harbaugh's in over his head in a lot of measures coaching in year 17. Only Mike Tomlin has a longer tenured coach in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Bisciotti, he's a very smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
He owns an engineering company.
Mm-hmm.
Why we're allowing this to keep going? He's upset the players. He's upset the fans. He's mismanaging the game. I don't know where to go from there. You can win with him, kind of in spite of him sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's reckless. 4th and 3 from the 50. Down 3 in the second quarter. What are we doing? And you draw, that play, Greg Roman wrote that down on a napkin and left it in his office.
Yeah, I think that's believing in your guys, especially the quarterback that you have. But at the same time, you got to be smart. So I totally get it. But the other big thing is, let's just say hypothetically, you finally part ways with John Harbaugh. Where do you go after that? Who do you bring in there? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's always the problem.
Yeah,
if you part ways with who you have, what do you do next? I think that's one of the big things.
I think what we learn every year, pro football, is there's no shortage of smart guys who bring something to the table. John doesn't call the offense. He doesn't call the defense. Our special teams have been bottom half of the league last 2 years. I don't know what he does well. I don't know what you have to lose other than, some of the female Ravens fans being let down, because he's a good-looking guy. But, John, we have to look in the mirror at some point as a fan base and understand we are, unless you have the leadership on a team like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Anquan Bolden, Dennis Pitta, unless you have those guys who kind of bond the team together, it's going to be tough sledding. John's not the leader he once was.
No, that's true.
He was never really that great to begin with as a leader. He's lost a lot of locker rooms in his day.
Yeah, I think that's definitely it. He lost the locker room by not allowing guys and players who, may have average X amount of tackles and dogs, and the players rally around them on the field. When you lose the locker room and you give it to a coach like a John Harbaugh, you find yourself in situations where when you need that player on the field, he doesn't exist. Right? It's just not there. And I think
if you would have showed me this box score before the game, Pacheco 3 yards of carry, Mahomes under 300 yards, even amount of touchdowns and interceptions. The Ravens did not lose the turnover battle. The Ravens dominated the time of possession. Lamar had a generational game, 400 total yards, over 100 yards rushing against Steve Spagnuolo. As good as his plan is, Lamar is that one of those special guys who he's lightning in a bottle. If you'd have showed me this box score, I would have been real, real happy with it. We gave up one QB hit. One QB hit. It was Roger Rosengarten's first play in the NFL. It was our rookie right tackle. First play in the NFL. They put him on an island. No chip, no help, no back help. With Chris Jones. Strip sack. That's the game right there.
Yeah.
That's the game right there. We pulled Patrick McCarry out, put Rosengarten in, left him on an island. That's our lone QB hit of the day. Lamar, and that's not to say the line was good. That's to say Lamar got up out of there. He was not waiting around. Lamar had damn near 20 carries, 100 some yards. You couldn't ask for a better game out of Lamar. Some little things here and there are going to happen. You're not perfect.
Some would beg to differ. Some would beg to differ, especially in this chat.
Yeah, but look, I'm not a guy who will be afraid to talk bad about our quarterbacks. I was the biggest Flacco guy there was. You know what I mean? But when it was Flacco's time, it was his time. Lamar is generational, and you can't help but feel like we're wasting it a little bit.
I see that.
You can't help but feel.
I see that. Yep, that's right. All right, Tyler, man, thank you for calling, giving your insight. Really appreciate it. I gotta get with you on the side also. We'll talk with you, but appreciate your insight, man. Definitely, thank you for the call. And
thank you.
Yeah, we'll go
Have
ahead.
a good night.
You too,
we're
man.
on to the Raiders. Got 10 days. We don't got to stress.
That's it. And that
Relax.
should be an easy win. But anyway.
Yep.
All right. So, all right, man. All right. So we're going to go ahead and if anybody else wants to call in, we'll go ahead and take that. If not, we're going to call it a night here because I'm about to black out right here on this freaking on this show. I'm tired.
Work tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Call in, fellas.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. I got Transformer.
My guy.
Transformer, what up?
Let me wake you up, my guy. I see you getting ready to yawn, so let me put the smile back on your face. Okay, let's get it popping. Gee, you're a big fan tonight, brother. You're a big fan tonight. I need you to be a little bit more realistic with your takes, okay? Be a little bit more realistic on your takes.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
Bruce is on it tonight. I've never seen Bruce so sharp on a take about his team He's taking the fandism out of his voice, and he's being subjective. He's being blunt. He's being correct. He is being on point. And G, I don't know what you want. You waving your palm.
Man, hold on, bro. First of all, man, you're a Packers fan. This between me and Bruce. You ain't got nothing to do with this, bro. You ain't got nothing to do with this. It's between me and Bruce, bro.
But no, man. In all seriousness, man, this is a good game. Good way to open up the season. I'm so happy
fantastic.
that football is back.
Yeah.
I was rooting for the Ravens. I actually had the Ravens on one of my parlays, so thank you, Ravens, for failing to seize the moment. But so let's talk about the game. All right, let's talk about the game. I need John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has to take control of this team.
You're right.
He has to take control of this team. He can't let Todd come in there and not focus on the strength. There's no point in me getting Derrick Henry and I get 13 attempts with one of the best backs that's ever been in the league.
Correct.
Right? If you go back and you look at the Tennessee Titans, the way you get Derrick Henry going, he at least needs 18 to 20 touches. You have to let him wear that defense down.
Correct.
You have to let him wear that defense down. Then that opens up, Paul, all the pass linkers. Guess what? Your linebackers are dropping down.
Mm-hmm.
Now Lamar can make those easy throws
over the top.
Coming
Yes.
across the middle.
Yes.
Yeah. Then Bateman can that one-on-one. He can kind of break that open now because that safety now has to drop down and help.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you have to establish that early. And I do not understand whenever. And I called this. I'm like, if the Ravens get down by 10 points, Todd is going to abandon the run. And he did it again. He got down by 10, and he completely abandoned the run with 11 minutes left in the third quarter. That is a lot of ball game left. You can still keep the run game going, wear the defense down, tick, 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 and now Lamar can make those easier throws. You can't trust in Lamar to be a direct pocket passer and then trust on him to make these miraculous scrambles. Because why? If you look at the end of all these scrambles, what was Lamar doing? He was getting hit. He was getting hit over and over and over, diving into a tackle.
Not good.
Throwing his shoulder on
good.
the sideline.
Yeah, man.
This man just lost his weight, guys. He just lost all his weight. So now you're subjecting this guy who's already shown that he's injury prone due to these hits, getting further danger by making these play calls. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that, man. I really do think Don needs to be held more accountable. We can talk about Todd all we want, but at the end of the day, this shall fall on Don's shoulders because he's allowing it to happen. You can't allow this to happen, man. But you know, to talk about Kansas City, I mean, hey, first of all, Worthy is going to be lightning. Okay, that kid is lightning.
Yeah.
All right. If my first time touching the football, I'm running a 4-3 into the end zone, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It don't get no better than that. But Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes, man. I would like for Todd Monken to just look at how, and Bruce, you touched on this earlier, how Pat Mahomes uses that rollout. Okay, it doesn't have to be a design run. It doesn't have to be a design draw. But that rollout, all right, get the line to moving, and then you can move in the direction, and that will open Lamar Jackson up on a lot of plays. You're literally watching the greatest quarterback in the league do it. On the other side, you're watching him do it. Just replicate it. Replicate it, throw your little touch on it. Now you're providing Lamar Jackson with more options. Bateman can get open. Zay Flowers is a freaking beast. I mean, that kid's a beast. You put him over there in Cincinnati, or you take him over there with Josh Allen, and that boy is going to be a freaking superstar. All right, but the way they're using him right now, I just don't see that happening because Todd Monken, one, is not going to let it happen. John is going to let Todd Monken keep calling the game the way he's calling it. It's not going to happen. So it's a detriment to what Lamar Jackson can be. And this is what I meant by when I say Lamar Jackson is incomplete. He's a great, great player, superstar when it comes to NFL. Yes, he's going to give you all the flashy numbers, the flashy scrambles, and, you know, he'll occasionally make a throw. But when that game matters the most, you have to be that guy, that focal point. to be able to walk up to that line and you dictate everything that goes on that field. You have to. All the greats do it. All the greats, especially in this era, have to have that aura around them to be like, yo, look, all right, that walk up to when Bateman had that, I think it was a 34-yard catch to get him about 10 yards out from the end zone. Hey man, walk up, spike the ball, bro. You don't have to run more clock. You don't even have the play call ready. Spike the ball. Spike the ball. Let's stop everything. Let's get everything set, and you dictate what's going on. You dictate what's going on. All right. Then on top of that, you had two opportunities. You had two opportunities likely wide open in the corner of the end zone. You throw it high and outside. Zay Flowers crossing the middle. That boy is being guarded by me, and I was sitting on the couch. Like nobody was near him.
Right.
He was being guarded by
Nobody.
me. So, and you missed him wide open. Those are your opportunities right there to seize that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't, man. So I mean, it is what it is.
It is.
I was definitely rooting for that. I was hoping that boy's toes with the line, boy. Like he rightly had one hell of a game. I give it to him. He had one hell of a game.
Yeah,
you know, Mark Andrews was getting warm and trying to get his feet back from coming from the injury last year. But all in all, man, it was a good game to watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud that we got NFL back. I just need G to calm down and expand this a little bit. Be a little bit more optimistic in your takes, brother. We're gonna need
every cylinder, bro.
He can't do it.
I hit on every cylinder, man.
He can't be objective. He can't
yards
do
on
it.
the ground, 200 plus yards in the air. You know what I'm saying? No interceptions. What more do you want this guy to do, man? Like,
You know what you sound like right now? Real talk. You know what you sound like right now,
hit
right?
his targets in the end zone when they open.
Okay.
You know what you sound like right now, right, G?
Let's see what your quarterback do when he ain't got no
He did
offensive
this, he
line.
did that. What more do you expect him to do? That sound like a LeBron fan. Real talk.
Oh, see, we have.
I'm just saying that's what they say.
Okay, Tatum Jr. Okay, okay, Tatum.
Yo,
Okay,
Transformer. Is that not what they say? Real talk.
Hey, listen, he put Tatum in his top 10, bro. Like he got
Tatum
problems.
is a top 10 NBA player, but that's a different subject for a different show. He absolutely is.
Hey, you
He
talking
got
about
like 4 points in the Olympics against plumbers and forklift drivers.
He's
top
definitely
10.
he's a top 10 player. Yeah, he's a top 10 player.
top 10 player on the team?
In the NBA. He's a top 10 player in the NBA.
Top 10 bench warmer.
Okay,
In the modern NBA, not all
the
time.
Modern NBA, right?
Modern NBA, he's a top 10 player in
Let's
the
go back
current
to Euro
NBA.
League now.
Bottom of the top 10, but he's there.
Okay, so he's like a 10.5 or something like that?
No,
So
like
10 is in there?
8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. Like he's at the bottom of that list, top 10.
Ooh.
But guess what, G? Guess what?
That's
Yo,
fandom for you, bro.
G,
That's
check
fandom
this
for
out.
you.
I got something for you. We're not even talking basketball, but I got something for you, making silly faces.
Man, come on.
The man
bro.
Melo ain't got no chip. Tatum got one. Hold that. Hold that.
Melo
Hold
ain't had
that.
Mr. Brown.
Hold that.
He was holding his coattail the whole game, man.
What you mean he ain't having Mr. Brown? He had Allen Iverson. He had Chauncey Billups. Hold that. Hold that. 2 Hall of Famers.
So hold on. You telling me that, Tatum is better than Tatum is better than
26 point per game Allen Iverson. What are you talking about?
Is Tatum better than Melo?
That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
Not even in the
Hey
flag.
man, you gonna speak that man name?
You the same
Listen,
dude talking
I'll
about.
take Melo over Tatum any day, bro.
You the same dude talking about.
Without question, bro.
G,
Without question.
G,
Without
you the
question.
same dude talking about. He ain't got no chips. He ain't got no chips, right? But now, see how the goalposts move. All right, bet.
No, but Melo is that dog,
Bet.
man. Hey,
He ain't earned his chip. He ain't earned that chip, bro. You keep trying to make him. Derek White earned that chip.
So
Same Derek White that got more burn than him in the
This is
Olympics.
what we gonna do.
Same Derek White that took his minutes in the Olympics.
On that note, I'm gonna go get some
top 10
sleep.
with 4 points in the Olympics, bro.
On that note, I'm gonna go get some sleep.
Stage.
And tomorrow night, I'm gonna enjoy the Eagles and the Packers from Brazil. And then on Saturday, I'm gonna enjoy my Irish, and then we're gonna do this again.
Who you got? Packers or
Hey man, go Pack, go baby.
That's
It's our turn tomorrow.
That's gonna be a hell of a game.
I'm gonna be very, very optimistic and blunt like Bruce was. I'm gonna try to not wait for pom poms like Steve was doing.
We gonna see. We know how you get with the Lakers and LeBron. I think he had us he got us mixed up, bro. Talking about a LeBron night. He got us mixed up.
You sounded like one.
He got us mixed up, bro.
You sounded like one.
Yeah.
You never heard me talk about my Lakers during the
Absolutely.
season, so you don't know how I be commentating.
I'm
You
just.
don't know how I be commentating. I be giving Bron the business
See
call.
you in that purple and gold.
Don't worry about. I be
See you in that purple and gold with that LeBron jersey on.
Oh man, yo. So
Hey,
this
quick
is
question,
what
though.
we gonna do, man.
Who
Yeah,
you
go
got winning tomorrow? Transform. Who you got?
You know who you
or,
got.
Packers or
Is
Philly?
that a rhetorical question?
You know who you got.
I'm just curious who you got winning, Packers or Philly. What's your over?
Nah, you can't be serious. That's not a real question. That's not a real question. Nah, he being funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely being funny. Yep.
Oh,
Already
okay.
You talking about my fandom, bro? Like I seen you with wristbands, and he had a LeBron headband on. LeBron don't even wear headbands no more. He's still rocking the headband.
I tell you what though, real talk. Tomorrow night, I think tomorrow night is going to be another fantastic game. I really do.
Oh yeah,
I think those teams are very evenly matched.
It's on a neutral field. So it's on a neutral field.
That's
and one thing you know about Packer fans, man, they do travel. So hopefully we get that noise going down to Brazil. Hopefully we give them guys a good show, man.
I don't know if they're going to travel that far.
We only had one Taylor Swift sighting today.
Bro, I was so excited.
Yo, on the low, I think you're obsessed with Taylor Swift,
Yeah,
bro.
man, I know.
You a Swiftie,
Listen,
G.
I don't know none of her songs, but I definitely know Bruce was singing one.
Hey, yo,
tonight.
Transformer, man. I think G is a Swiftie on the low. He always talking about this shit.
Yeah,
Man.
right, man. Whatever.
As soon as we log off, he plays that Take It Off song.
Hey, man, I don't know no song. Transformer, you know a Taylor Swift song?
Oh my gosh. G gonna be over there singing "We Never Getting Back Together."
Look, I told you got one. I told you he know a song and everything. Probably verbatim, word for word, Transform. Word for word. I'm telling you, he the only one on this panel know a Taylor Swift song. He just lost his card. Give me that
Take it off. That's forever popular. You gotta take it off, man.
Oh
Take it
man,
Yeah, yo, you gotta take it off, bro. Like that's crazy, Puff.
I'm knowledgeable, man. What can I say, man? I'm knowledgeable.
Only one on this panel know a Taylor Swift song. Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Oh,
I knew it, bro. Like I knew it, yo.
I think it's you on the low, man. You always talk about this chick, man.
That solidifies everything for the night for me, man. That solidifies everything.
He couldn't wait till they showed
He been singing Taylor Swift songs the whole game, bro. I knew he wasn't a real Ravens fan. Yo. I knew it, yo. I knew it, man.
You a wild dude,
Let me
G.
get off this phone, guys. Man.
Oh, my
Y'all have a
goodness.
good one, bro.
All
I
right,
knew I
man.
could get Bruce to laugh, man. That was my main goal. Not calling it. Hey, you guys be easy, man. Tune in tomorrow. Go Pack Go. We're
Go
winning
Pack Go.
tomorrow in Brazil. Stay tuned, guys.
Go Pack, go, fly Eagles, fly, whichever one it is.
Hey, Bruce, who you got winning tomorrow?
You know what? I have no idea.
Yeah, you probably
Why
won't
good?
even watch the game, huh?
No, I'm definitely gonna watch the game. I just think it's
You gonna pick-
evenly
You gonna pick
matched.
the green team?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gonna pick
I'm
the
gonna
green
There
team.
you
pick the team in green.
Cheesehead, shorty, cheesehead.
Team in green.
If cheeseheads win tomorrow, if they lose tomorrow, you will get that same energy transform.
Oh my
Get
goodness.
the same energy,
Hey,
bro.
man, hey, like I said, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. I'm gonna call what I see on the
Man,
field.
you'll never keep it 100, man. You'll never keep it 100, especially when it comes to the teams you like, yo.
You've never seen
Them
me give
Lakers fan, man. LeBron can do no wrong in your world.
brother.
LeBron can do no
You've
wrong
never
in
seen
your world.
me
I remember we was
give
talking about
post-game
Bronny. You was making
commentary.
all these. I probably should stop right here. So
Yeah, you should stop right
man,
there.
old man Bruce can go to sleep, man, because we'll be up all freaking night talking about the Bronny series that we had and how you was just
Oh
like,
man.
no, man, he gonna be nice. He gonna be nice. I said, yo, he gonna start. He gonna start, yo.
When
Just
Bronny
imagine what
has
he gonna
to
look
play,
like.
bro, I want to hear this conversation.
Oh, you ain't that.
That's
Yeah,
important.
not gonna be able to do it.
In the G League.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
20 in the G League, bro.
Oh, that's hilarious. You're wild, man.
Oh, man, but you guys be easy, man. Keep it safe.
No doubt. No
Great
doubt.
show as always.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh man. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna call it right here because I can't do this much longer.
Hey, that boy, hold on about that.
Oh,
Man,
man,
the microphone over here.
I gotta
man.
take my son to school in the morning, man.
Hold on, take it off for that man, bro. Turn on that Taylor Swift. Let's get G up out his chair, man.
You know, you listen to Taylor Swift on his way, he dropped his son off. Yo.
oh my goodness. Oh, yo, wow.
Never thought it would be you,
man.
bro. I never thought it would be you, bro.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm knowledgeable, man. What can I say?
Hey,
You
man,
know?
he hip to the urban culture, bro.
Oh my goodness. Whew. Y'all wild. All right, man. We go call it.
All right, y'all, man. Y'all be good.
No doubt, man. You have a good one, bro.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Oh, Ralph. Hey, appreciate that, man. Appreciate the super chat. Let me throw this up there. Ralph the Ace, you're new, man. I haven't seen you before. So what I would love for you to do, man, go to YouTube. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the channel. Really appreciate that. So before we get out of here, let's address Ralph Ace's super chat. Good show, guys. Feels like the Chiefs offense is loaded. Do y'all think Hollywood Brown will fit in with this team? Absolutely. Because I just feel like they got one of the best play designers in history, Andy Reid, and Pat Mahomes just makes everything go. You know, he's not going to let anyone come in and not fit, right? And if they don't fit, they're going to get him up out of there, right? So, yeah, Hollywood Brown is just going to be another weapon they add. What's up, G?
That's scary. You got two speedsters on the end.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They receiving core probably average like a 4.3, like a 4.3 on the 40. That's crazy.
They got speed. Because Mecole Hardman, he's a 4.29 guy.
Yeah.
So Hardman's a 4.29 guy. Hollywood Brown's 4.3 and change. And then Xavier Worthy's 4.21, 4.19. So crazy. Absolutely. Yeah. So yes, to your question, Ralph, Hollywood Brown is definitely going to fit in, man. He will.
Third bridge.
Yeah. They got weapons all over the place, man. It's scary.
Got to take their legs.
Say again.
Clip the legs. Sweep the legs.
Sweep the leg.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, definitely. Sweep the leg. Is there a problem, Mr. Lawrence?
Man.
Oh, man. All right, y'all. So for everybody who came in again, we really appreciate y'all. This was us coming in, giving our post-game recap, and then having a little fun. We didn't expect it to go that way, but you know, when you got me and G and then Transformer pops up, you already know it could go off the rails. And, you know, that's just how we get down, man, just talking sports and having fun. Me and G been doing this for almost 20 years now, so it is what it is. But, yeah, so we are going to go ahead and we're going to call it a night right here. Again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll get back with you Saturday night. So we out. Have a great one. Peace.
You gotta fix that button, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that button, man. Damn. Like
the show must continue, bro. The show must continue.
Nah.